know the world is very, very small now when you're a billionaire. So you can get where you want to be and when and how and all of those things. So we'll paint the picture that becomes reality. You're kind of painting that family picture, and you might be right. In this moment on Kalshi, Cleveland is the favorite at 33%. The Warriors are at 32%.
Wow. Okay.
That's how close we are to the Warriors being the favorite again, which is what they were a number of weeks ago.
Yeah, and maybe it's because the money that's going into the Kalshi market is reflective rather of what you've been saying for more than a week. The longer this goes, the better you feel, or the more you feel that he's going to come to the Warriors.
It makes sense of why, if it's the Warriors. The other ones, I would have questions. Not that that matters. Who cares if we have questions? But if he signs with Philadelphia next week, I think one of the things that people will ask is why did that take so long? That's a baked cookie, man. Just eat it or don't.
Right.
It's getting stale. Like, what do we, you know what I mean? Like, what would be the reason if he's joining Philly for not just doing it?
Right.
Unless he's waiting for something else to happen, even if he's intending to go to Philadelphia. The longer he waits, the more you're waiting for something else to grab your attention.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But, like, that's what it feels like to me. It feels like Shams is just sitting here every day going, it's not the Warriors. It's not the Warriors. And everybody's going, I think it's the Warriors. He's like, it's not the Warriors. Like, but why are you telling everybody it's not the Warriors? Is it because it's not the Warriors, or because somebody wants it to feel like it's not the Warriors so they can either have the element of surprise or the art of negotiation? I don't know. I don't know, but that's kind of how it feels. Let me run down the Western Conference basketball teams, and you tell me, like, make a noise.
Greg Cosell coming up in 2 months.
Make a noise if you think this team is better, clearly better, than a healthy, LeBron-included Warriors team.
Are we talking about April where Jimmy's back, or
season as a whole?
Okay.
So half a Jimmy.
I will presume, I'll even say a third of Jimmy, because I think that's more likely.
No, but assume all things, good, because that's what we do in the offseason. All these teams are healthy as of today. All right? So
make a noise when they're clearly better than the Warriors.
Clearly better. I want to know how many honks we get. Okay? Oklahoma City. San Antonio. Utah. The Dallas Mavericks. The Minnesota Timberwolves. The Houston Rockets. Okay. Phoenix Suns.
I love John Bloom.
The Portland Trailblazers.
On the rise, but no double honk.
The Los Angeles Lakers.
Nah. Sorry, Kevon.
The Los Angeles Clippers.
No.
You don't have to make any noise at all if it's a no noise.
Do what I want. I got a microphone right here.
Turn it off, Mark. Bleep you guys, Mark and Dibs. The New Orleans Pelicans. The Memphis Grizzlies. The Sacramento Kings.
Adorable.
The Denver Nuggets.
Yeah. I'll double honk it.
I think you guys have the Warriors as fifth.
Yep, that's right. And even at that, I would throw Utah and Portland as the next teams in that little grouping.
Really?
I think Portland's going to be intriguing, and Utah's going to be a tough matchup.
Wait,
it'd be Houston and the Lakers.
Yeah, you're
for me.
putting those teams ahead of Houston and the Lakers?
I don't love what the Lakers have.
Really?
What they're rolling out. Yeah, I'm just not.
Snow time?
Excuse me.
Snow time.
Yeah, snow time. Not.
You don't like it?
No.
Okay.
Snow time.
That's what they're calling them.
Okay, because he's white.
They got a bunch of white guys.
Gotcha. Okay.
The best players are all white.
Yeah, and
Snow time Lakers.
I just don't think that they have enough that would scare me personally.
But Portland and Utah do?
Utah's got like 11 7-footers and a good backcourt, I think, and a great rookie. I think that they're going to be a team that will be one with whom you should reckon. Portland might be a stretch, but I got them at 5th.
I mean, you could,
Me and Grandy and Cosell, we all had them at 5th.
So what Marc Spears said is far from crazy then.
Work on your material.
Right.
We are. He said, I got the Warriors right around 4th.
And again, that's presuming health, which I think is a wild presumption with an older team.
Oh, it kind of is for everybody, to be honest with you.
Yes, but when you have an older team, I think it's even more of a wild presumption.
For sure it is, but let's not act like, we got to the playoffs and the Lakers were missing 2 of their best 3 players, and they were the 2 younger ones. So we got to the playoffs and Anthony Edwards was missing games. Victor Wembanyama got hurt in the playoffs for a short period of time. Yeah, they weren't serious injuries, not all of them, but I don't know, man. Yeah, yes. Is it a higher likelihood? Sure. Are they going to have as bad a luck as they had last year? I doubt it. I think that our area is injury scared after 2026.
Well, I look at the reality of runner's knee, which I think it might be a chronic condition. I'm not his doctor, but I'm a radio doctor, and that's one of those ones that may crop up again. Either way, Steph's going to need some rest, and LeBron will need some rest, and Jimmy Butler likely out until February based on the return-to-play protocols, and Moses Moody may not play at all. So as you navigate the first part of the season without Jimmy and Moses, and Steph not playing every night, and LeBron the same, and Horford and Kristaps, I do think that the names on paper are better than the availability will be.
What month did Jimmy get hurt?
His surgery was in February.
Okay.
Which that's really the key. I think it was February 3rd or 4th. That's the key date off of which you base it. And the majority of the data, depending on which way you go with it, says that it's 9 to 12 months, but he is 36. And so I would lean toward the 12 as opposed to the 9.
I'm going to take the under on February.
Okay.
For Jimmy Butler. I'm going to take the big time under on 9.
The big time under.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know where he is rehab-wise, but...
what they tell us is good.
Right.
But for whatever that's worth.
And I think it was a clean ACL tear, meaning just the ACL.
Might be January, but I wouldn't even rule out December.
Wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see when he gets into camp and at least shows up.
But that also might be affected by what the Warriors are doing.
It might. And it might also be affected by what they do between now and the start of the year. In other words, if they sign LeBron, then Jimmy might be more motivated to bust his hump and make it back. And if the Warriors come out slow with no LeBron and they're sitting on December 15th at 10-17, well, maybe Jimmy Butler's going to slow play his return.
I would argue that this exercise we just did should make Warrior fans more excited than maybe they even are about the prospect of LeBron joining.
We could do the same exercise without LeBron and just, okay, this is your team.
Yeah, but nobody's happy. Nobody even thinks that that's a playoff team.
That's the point of the exercise, though. To your point.
We already know that. I guess my point is I'm trying to access how much better do you think this makes the Warriors? And when I hear so many people sort of say, oh, it'd be fun, it'd be interesting, but it's not like it makes them a factor in the West. And then we do this exercise and you say they're 5th. I think 5th is a factor. I don't think it's top of the heap, but it's a factor. It's definitely a factor. Houston was 5th in the West this year. The champion was a 3 seed. So favorites, no, but a factor.
Well, definitely a factor.
Okay, well, I don't hear a lot of people say that.
Well,
he addressed today that he hears the voices about, well, you join them, you're still a play-in team. I don't think they're a play-in team with LeBron James.
I don't either.
Yeah.
And part of it is dependent on what kind of a season it is, because 2 years ago, as you recall, the Warriors won 48, and they were the 7 seed but they were 2 games behind the 3 seed. So between 3 and 7 was a 2-win differential. Last year was more of a normal year where, the 5th seed was, I think, 12 games ahead of where the Warriors were at 10. So just depends on how it shakes out. I do think next year in the West, it's probably OKC and San Antonio again. And then it's Denver, the Warriors with LeBron. I think Utah's in the mix, but 3 through 7 or 8 next year will be a tight group.
So a 5 to 10 this last year was 15 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
15 game difference.
And part of that was because of the blatant nature of tanking by so many teams.
For sure. Rich in Novato next up. Hi, Rich. Thanks for calling.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Really appreciate your show. It's always wonderful to hear you. I'd like to say a few things about LeBron potentially coming to the Bay. And I'm going to start off by first saying I'm still licking my chops against that loss to Cleveland when he went back to Cleveland and he kind of did that joke about Steph and Thompson putting their tombstones on a cake or something to that effect. Not that has anything to do with it, but I still think about that quite a bit is what I'm saying as a hardcore W fan. The other thing is that I honestly do not see it. I don't see LeBron and Draymond getting along for an 84-game season, let alone going into the deep part of the season if they made it. And then lastly...
Wait, why not, Rich? Why not? Did you hear Marc Spears today? Were you listening when he came on last hour?
And as they say in the NFL, it looks and sounds good on paper.
Well, there was one comment he made that I wanted to make you aware of. I wondered if you heard it. He said that...
I did not. What did he say?
There's no other player in the whole NBA that is closer to LeBron James than Draymond Green.
I said that about my ex-girlfriend, too. Apologies.
Okay. I mean, sure.
Come on, guys. Yeah, really? You're buying that? Really?
No.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it for one game. I don't buy it for 84 games. No, and lastly, let me say this before you guys cut me off. I think LeBron coming to the Bay would do just as much as Phillip Rivers did for Indianapolis in the NFL last year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's all I have to say. So thank you.
Yeah, Rich, thank you.
Phillip came off the couch.
After
5 years away?
Phillip couldn't move. LeBron just won a playoff series without the other top 2 players on the team.
Right.
So, I'm kind of with LeBron on this. The whole diminishing of him because he's 41. I don't know if he's not a top 5 player anymore, but he's damn well still a top 15 player in this league. I don't even think that that's debatable, number one. Now, if you're predicting that Draymond and LeBron are too volatile and there would be a problem over an 82-game season, you can sure predict that. But there is no questioning Marc Spears on whether or not these two guys are really, really close friends. Marc is tapped into Draymond Green. I promise you this. And Marc is tapped into the league. And if he says that those are as close of friends as either of them have in the league, I believe him. And I think that we already kind of knew that anyway. Do you travel to Puerto Rico in your offseason with people that you're not tight with? There's 2 kinds of friends in this world. There's your friends, right? And then there's your friends you travel with.
Exactly.
Those are different.
It's funny because my 2 older kids are in their 20s, and there were some good friends of ours when they were kids, and some we would travel with, and some we were friends with, but we wouldn't travel with them, and some we traveled with just about every single year. Yeah. So there's levels to everything, and when you have your off time and you are making this decision and you decide to go to Puerto Rico with another person, you're probably good friends with that person. And I don't think Draymond said, hey, can I just tag along so I can pitch you for 4 days? No, they're friends. And friends take trips, guy trips.
Yep.
Puerto Rico, let's do it.
Let's bring Kevin Hart.
I mean, you have to. You want somebody around who's funny, somebody who can break the room up a little bit. There's a piece in here about LeBron and golf, actually a lot. And he talks about how as a kid he could never get into country clubs. And, now he's a member at Firestone, which is out there in Akron, I believe. And he's very passionate about making golf accessible to people of color. And Rich even said, like, Rich Kleiman, who did the interviewing, said, yeah, but, if you go to the East, golf is shut down in November, December. And LeBron said, it's going to be simulators. I'm all about the simulator, and I'm going to make the main thing when it's basketball season. So the idea of, he'll come here because he can golf all year round. Well, that's true, but he's kind of making it seem like the whole golf thing is more of a after the career and in the summer.
I'm sure golf is not the number one motivator for LeBron James, but I also think he's going to publicly poo-poo to some degree any specific thing, because if he doesn't, it'll start giving away clues. And he's not ready to make the call.
Right.
So that's the way he's going to play it. That's the way LeBron has always played it.
And what I'm getting from this interview, which is fascinating, I tweeted it. I hope you can spend some time and read it. But it might come down to those two ladies in his life, his wife and his daughter.
Doesn't it always?
In many ways, yeah.
I mean, can you imagine? Are you making any big decisions without your wife and daughter?
Well, let's just pretend that I get an opportunity of a lifetime at the Beast 980. It comes back to life down in Los Angeles, and it's going to be an unbelievable opportunity for your boy. You got to double my salary, and I get to go back to the Beast.
Ooh.
So I go to my wife.
Offering you $40,000, huh?
38, but you round it up. I appreciate it. So I go to supper, who's taught in the East Bay for 20 years, and my daughter, who's now grown up in the town where her mom grew up, and I say, hey, the Beast is calling. The Beast. I think we're going to L.A. She looks at me side-eyed and said, I don't ever want to hear that out of your mouth again, because they're the boss. So now this is a little different because he's LeBron James, but if the daughter and the mom really, really don't want him to be across the country, that might be it.
That might be. And I look, I mean, he might not want to be away from them.
Right.
Well,
you think about
there are actually family people in this world that aren't begging to get away from the people in their home.
Right, and I think he's one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know LeBron. I have no idea. I always think that's a funny thing. The cynicism in life, you know what I mean? Like we were joking about it last week with the lovely Christy picking up golf. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, there goes your alone time. I'm thrilled that she wants to be out there. I like being around my people. Maybe he's like that too. I don't know. I don't know. But the fact that he's talking about it publicly, Marc Spears is not wrong. That is a feather in the cap for the Warriors.
Yes, and I think about you as Marc Spears was laying that out, and I was looking at the age of LeBron's daughter, and she'll be 12 in October, and you are at a point now where little guy Jude, in 6 years, he's going to be a high school graduate, and you're going to be an empty nester. And there's freedom in that.
I'm going to be an empty accounter is what I'm going to be.
Fair. Although your daughter should be out of college by then, and maybe your older son as well, and all three of them could be in college together, and you'll have to work 7 jobs as opposed to the 5. But you start to look at, there's an end date on you having little guy as a little guy in your house.
Yep.
And so the moments you get now, you don't get those back. And I think that, you get to be our age certainly, but his age, and you realize that not only is nothing promised, but this time it goes by fast.
Really fast. Yeah. Ben in Concord is next. Hi, Ben. Thanks for calling.
Hey, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Great, man. What are you up to?
I was just driving on the 24 back to the house, and I figured I'd check out 95.7 The Game, and you guys got me all excited about this potential starting lineup of LeBron, Curry, Draymond, Butler, and the big man. And I'm thinking about the bench. The bench would be loaded, too, if Moody comes back healthy. You'll have, I can't remember if Melton is still on the team.
He is.
They don't watch the
Don't forget about Pods now.
You got this rookie. You got Podzimski. I was like, man, that's a tough team to face right there. I'm thinking the rest of the league really doesn't want LeBron to come to the Warriors. I'm getting a little excited.
Look at you, Ben.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to...
Look at you.
You guys got me all gassed up. Like, what's going on over here? I'm like, the 95.7 The Game is just giving me a little bit of goosebumps.
Well,
I'm feeling good.
It could happen. It could happen, Ben. Ben, thanks very much. That might be the first person I've heard call this station in the last year and a half excited about roster construction.
Seriously.
You know what I mean? And what that says to me, because Ben's not wrong, and that's why this whole thing I feel like is a little stressful for people. Even those who didn't love the idea of LeBron, he does feel like a linchpin. And I know that they've got to stay healthy or healthier than they were. That's a given, and that may not happen. But if you put LeBron on this team, it does kick everybody down the bench a little bit, and you start to think about the second half of the year and if Jimmy Butler could come back and all of that. And suddenly you're like, you know what? I mean, sure, it's old, but it's viable, and there is some youth who will participate and contribute. Do you know what I mean? Pods is on the team. Yaxel's on the team. Guy Santos is on the team. There is some youth who will contribute to all of this. But without LeBron and the injury questions that are there, I don't even think that the Warriors are suddenly awful, but they feel one injury away at all times from being just not enough.
Right. Not enough at the top of the heap, because if you have LeBron and Jimmy eventually comes back, in, let's just say, the Warriors in mid-March, when Jimmy's starting to really feel comfortable again, you've got Steph and Jimmy and LeBron, 3 legit scorers. Kristaps, again, assuming health, is another legit threat. Yaxel at the end of a rookie year. Pods and his pluckiness off the bench. Horford shooting threes. Melt, who can do some things. You start to really look at a team that is kind of diversified when healthy.